Osteoporosis is a disease condition that causes brittle bones. And indeed, people who have it are very prone to fractures. On today's show, we're going to have a medic on the show who will sit down and speak to us about things that can cause osteoporosis, if there are things that you can do to help you prevent it, and indeed, what other things you can do if you do have osteoporosis to make sure that you live a good life. Then we're going to visit the kitchen and we're going to show you some calcium-rich foods that you can prepare in your homes that also help build up your stock of calcium. Finally, we catch up with a celebrity, 73 years of age. She stands tall, she sits straight, and she still does everything that you and I only hope that we can do. This is a fully packed show. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Dr. Ketch Show, your family wellness show. This is that show that gives you all the power that you need to take all the right healthcare and wellness decisions for yourself and for your family. On today's show, we're going to be talking about osteoporosis. We're going to be looking at osteoporosis from different angles. And we're also going to find out those things that we can do to help that situation if you're already suffering from it. We're going to talk about diet. We're going to talk about medication. We're also going to talk about exercise and so many other things that you can do to help yourself if you have osteoporosis or if you think you're at risk of osteoporosis. To start off the conversation, take a look at this.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you, sir.
So when did you arrive?
2 days now, sir.
2 days?
Yes, sir.
You're a bad boy. Yeah? And you couldn't come to tell us?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
That's all good, though. You're welcome all the same. Eh? And how is the league?
Well, it's doing great, sir.
I can see. Footballer.
Thank you, sir.
Very good thing.
Uncle, how have you been?
Well, as you can see, I'm doing fine.
Thank
If
God.
not for this back and leg thing. You know, the other day I went to the hospital and they diagnosed me with this osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis?
Yes, they say it has to do with the bone lacking calcium and things
yes,
like that.
I
Yes,
understand.
that is it.
So then that means you must have been doing a lot of calciums now.
Calcium, me at my age. It's already too late for me, Ojare. It is you and your children that should start doing that, you know. Make sure you build enough calcium in your bones so that they don't start walking with the third leg so early in life. Well, look, forget about me. Let us go inside. Speaking of league, I saw the goal that you scored the other day.
Osteoporosis is just a huge fat word that stands for brittle bones. Now you would wonder, what can cause your bones to get brittle? I'm wondering myself. Now with me in the studio today is somebody who's going to tell us all about osteoporosis and probably answer some of those questions you already have after you watch that video clip. Now with me is somebody who is a Canadian board certified physician. She graduated from the University of Lagos as a medical doctor, and she also has a master's in public health from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Please join me as I welcome Dr. Ajike Oladoyin to our set today. Hello, Dr. Oladoyin.
Hello, Dr. Ketch.
It is awesome to have you on the set today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I always love talking with you.
Same here.
Great. So you joined us as we watched that video clip. So osteoporosis, what's that?
Well, osteoporosis is a condition where the bones
Okay.
are not as dense as they're supposed to be.
Okay.
So everything in our bodies has mass,
Okay.
and the mass of the bones reduces.
Okay.
Sometimes with age.
Okay.
Usually in people who have a reason to be predisposed to osteoporosis.
Okay. When you say predisposed, we're saying people who are more likely.
More likely to have it.
Okay.
So things like race. We're
Okay.
lucky as blacks not to have a lot of osteoporosis, but it still
That's
occurs.
nice. Okay.
It still occurs, but it's much more common in Asians and Caucasians.
Okay.
We also, as blacks, tend to have a little bit more meat on our bones.
Okay.
So we find osteoporosis more in people who are really skinny,
Okay.
and then in people who smoke. a
Okay,
lot
so
as
now
well.
I don't have to feel so bad if I'm not a size 1.
True,
Okay.
true.
Okay.
So it's a condition that is often hereditary to some degree as well. So
Oh.
it's more likely to run in families. But lifestyle does play a big part.
Lifestyle.
Yes.
I'm always very interested in lifestyle because, I mean, quite a number of the diseases we have, you know, there are a few things that we can tinker with in our lifestyle. And, you know, it kind of prevents us, you know, from having those things. So it's great to hear that osteoporosis is one of those things because really, when I grow old, I want to be able to do all those nifty dance moves and all of that.
Well, you have to have started preparing before now.
Oh,
and,
okay.
I mean, it's never too late.
Yeah, okay, so you're
But-
kind of saying I'm too old for that now? Is that
No,
what
no,
you're saying?
no,
Is
no,
that-
not quite. But
Okay.
you do set the foundation for
Early.
osteoporosis early in life.
Okay,
So calcium intake right from one's youth
okay.
does have an impact on the density of the bones.
Ah,
And then after menopause in particular for women, because I forgot to mention that osteoporosis is more common in women. We
Okay.
do find it in men,
Okay.
but it is more common in women after menopause.
menopause.
So if the bones are already not as dense as they should be before menopause, then the loss of estrogen hastens the loss of that bone mass.
Okay, because at menopause, then you don't have as much estrogen. Your body doesn't produce as much as
That's
you used to
correct.
before. Okay. Okay, so going back again to lifestyle. So what can we do? So me, I'm a woman now. And so it's expected now that when I get to menopause, with the loss of estrogen, maybe
Right.
this might happen. You've given me some bad news that if I haven't started this early enough, then I probably already have a challenge. So I can't do anything about the time that has passed. But generally, lifestyle-wise, if I could turn back the hands of time. So for my children, you know, what can I do? Lifestyle, even right now, to make sure that osteoporosis doesn't just recur in this generation or the next.
Next. Well, a big part of it is diet. So as I mentioned earlier, calcium. Calcium-rich foods
Okay.
are quite common, but
Okay.
we hear a lot of emphasis on dairy.
Okay.
But there are other foods that provide a lot of calcium
Okay.
that we don't often think about. All are dark green vegetables. So there's really no ethnic group that does not have some form of vegetable soup
Yeah.
in their in
Not
their
the ones
diet.
doused in oil, right?
Not the ones doused in
Okay.
oil, and not the ones cooked to death, but
Cooked to death, I like that.
lots of spinach,
Yeah.
lots of water leaf,
Okay.
lots of ugu.
Oh, water leaf, okay.
Things like that. The dark green vegetables tend to be very rich in calcium.
Okay.
Almonds. So we tend to eat the fruits more in Nigeria and
Yeah.
forget about the nuts, but the
Yeah.
actual almond nuts are rich in calcium as well.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Okay, great. So, for instance, the man that we saw in the clip already has osteoporosis.
Right.
So, what can he do really to make sure that he doesn't have to deal with all that pain on a regular basis? Yeah.
So when osteoporosis is already established, then there's a lot of emphasis on calcium intake still.
Okay.
It should be at least 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, anything up to 2,000, in some cases even higher.
Okay. So
milligrams
I'm just going to
a
stop
day.
you there. 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is. How do we estimate that? So, like, what should I eat in a day? Like, how many, you know, what should I eat to make sure that I have up to that?
Usually from your diet, you will not get
All
those
of that.
large quantities. You will need a form of supplementation. So
Okay.
some form of calcium tablets or the dissolvable calcium. In some form,
Okay.
you most often will not get very high unless you're drinking about 4 glasses of milk a day, and
Yeah.
the average person really will not
Would
be able
not,
to,
yeah.
to do that. So.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, this has been very enlightening. Thank you so much, Dr. Oladoyin. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Now,
having
we'll
me.
take a short break, and when we return, we will have some more tips for you. Don't go away.
Mama's cooking. Let's help her. Wait! My mama says before touching food, you should wash your hands with soap.
But my hands are clean.
Can't see germs, but they're everywhere.
Look under special blue light. To protect against germs, I recommend regularly use soap. Safeguard removes millions of germs, and additionally, it inhibits regrowth of germs that might cause skin rashes for hours.
That is why me, mommy, daddy, and my brother regularly use Safeguard.
Supported by the African Medical Association.
When most people think about calcium, they really think about milk and other dairy products. However, there are other foods that are very rich in calcium. Today, as usual, I am at the Millet kitchen with Chef Eros, who's going to teach us some nice, healthy calcium dishes to help us prevent osteoporosis, build up our calcium stock so that later on in life, we can do some dapper moves. And so, Chef Eros.
Hello, love.
How are ya?
Good. Always a pleasure to have you in the kitchen.
Always a pleasure to be here. What are you doing?
I'm trying to prep some peppers so that we can have a delicious kale salad. You do know that kale does have a lot of calcium in there.
It does.
Aside from the regular dairy products, other vegetables like kale.
Okay.
You also have things like fig, dried fig.
Okay.
Salmon, seafood,
Okay.
they all contribute to increasing your calcium levels.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So how are we going to incorporate all of this?
All right, so I'm making a very leafy salad, and I'm doing a mix
This is
of
for me,
kale.
right?
Yes, of
Ooh,
course.
thank you.
So I'm doing a mix of kale and lettuce in this salad. I'm topping up with some tomatoes. I'm going to have some carrots, and for some sweetness, I'm bringing in some fig. Obviously, for some meatiness and to bring in that high calcium salmon, I'm going to use the pink salmon, and then I'm also going to add some sesame seeds, which are really high in calcium as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a yogurt, honey, and mustard dressing, which is going to all marry together as one delicious salad.
Okay, that all
Ready?
sounds very interesting.
So do you want to get your hands dirty?
I think so.
All right, why don't you go get your hands washed first, and then we can get it
Awesome.
proper dirty. Okay, so what we want to do first is
Okay.
start off with working the kale. Take the stalk off the kale. I will start working on the dressing at the same
Okay,
time.
what are
all
we
right?
making the dressing with?
We're making it with yogurt,
Okay.
mustard, honey, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice to cut that sweetness. Pinch of salt. I'm just going to put a dash of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds. All right. Now, kale is a strong vegetable. It's hard in texture.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce that. We're going to break down the texture of the kale.
Okay.
And to do that, I'm going to use lemon juice, and at the same time, I'm also washing and purifying this.
Okay.
So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of lemon juice.
Okay.
All right. And I'm just going to add in half a cup of water. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And then all I'm going to do is pour this into my kale. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure that the kale has broken down
Okay.
now. So what I'm going to do is just add some more water and strain it all out.
Okay. Tell him I did that.
All right.
Okay.
So now, in goes the red peppers.
Okay.
And then, for the really high calcium kick, we're going to use salmon.
Okay.
Okay? In this 1 can of salmon, there's about 464 mgs. And I'm going to grab a plate so I can mash the salmon.
Okay. So how much calcium does an adult need in a day?
My hair is about 1,000 mg of calcium per day. Is that, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah.
So in this meal, by the time we're done, we'll pretty much have all the calcium.
Yeah, yeah,
If
absolutely.
not more, actually. All right, and finally, well, semi-finally.
Yes, because the final part is the tasting.
Okay, so 1/3 of a cup
okay.
of this yogurt dressing.
Ooh, that just looks sinful. It just does
Sinfully
look
healthy.
sinful. Sinfully healthy,
Okay?
absolutely.
And just for some extra mg of calcium,
Okay.
I'm gonna put in some more
Sesame seeds.
sesame seeds.
Oh, this looks so good. Oh, this just looks wonderful. I wish you could join us. But you can do this today.
Very, very easy and very high in calcium.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to eat.
The part I love. Ooh, that looks really, really good. Awesome, fabulous, can't wait to taste that. Now you have all the secrets to prepare for yourself some very healthy, calcium-rich meals in your kitchen. Now, when we return, I'll have with me somebody I admire so much. She is just a huge star. Now, she's going to share with us some of her secrets. How come she's still so feisty, still so active, even at her age? Maybe she had a lot of calcium-rich meals when she was younger. I don't know. Don't go away. You don't want to miss this. Now, time to the tasting.
Yes. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
It's your mouth that gives you your best smile, that lets you bite into the best food, hot or cold. That's why your mouth deserves Oral-B Pro Health All-Round Protection. It protects you against bacteria, plaque, and gum problems that could lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth and gives you all-round protection. That's why your mouth deserves Oral-B Pro Health All-Round Protection. And now available in family size.
Welcome back. Following our discussion on osteoporosis, I have somebody here in the studio you would just love to meet. She's 73 years old. She's an officer of the Order of the Niger. She's a fellow of the Society of Nigerian Theatre Artists. She's an author. She's an actor. She's a poet. She's a public commentator and social commentator. She's a widow. She's a grandmother. She is a multitasking woman, 73 years old and still going strong. She's no other person than Mrs. Taiwo Ajayi Lycett. Auntie Taiwo, thank you so much for being here with me.
The pleasure is entirely mine.
Fantastic. I love your hairdo.
Thank you.
I always tell you I love everything about how you dress and everything about how you make up. Fantastic.
Thank you.
73 years. What's the secret? I can't even sit as straight as you're sitting on your chair. What's the secret?
Well, the intention is to redefine old age.
It is, right?
Right. And to let people know that it's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
That you get older, you're absolutely abundant with experience, with all sorts of things. And if you're blessed with good health, and you can be blessed with good health if you look after yourself, then why not rock it?
Absolutely, I love that.
Yeah.
Rock it. And you are rocking it, Auntie Taiwo.
I like to think so.
Absolutely. Okay, so today we've been talking about osteoporosis. We're talking about old people who get to old age and their bones are brittle. Your bones are nowhere near brittle. I see how straight you're sitting up. You walk good. What's in your earlier life, as it were, led you to this point where you're able to do all of these things?
First of all, exercise.
Exercise.
Real structured exercise.
Okay.
I'm a swimmer.
Oh, do you still swim?
I swim.
You do?
Generally in my home in England and my home here, I swim every day. And you know what that does for you? Supple, makes your joints supple, makes your body supple.
Yeah, and really exercises all those muscles that normally you don't. Yeah.
Your circulation is going great guns. You're really fit as a fiddle. You're going. And you have everything going for you when you exercise. Yeah. Because once you have your circulation going, you get your breathing going, your heart is pumping, and all your major organs are healthy. Yeah. Well, you don't have anything else because they're the engine of the body.
Fantastic. So exercise.
Fundamental.
Fundamental.
You have to do that. And I've been blessed because I was going to say my chosen profession. I actually didn't choose this profession, but it chose me. So when the profession chose me, part of the training was that I would train as a dancer. So I trained to dance jazz.
Because you sit up straight, Auntie Taiwo.
Of course,
when you stand straight. I'm struggling to really just sit up straight like you.
And the easiest way to be is to, you don't do it, it's not forced, but you sit straight. Because if your spine is straight, your lungs are open, you speak straight, your voice, your throat and your voice and your larynx, everything can project what you want to say, okay? Plus, of course, it looks great.
It does.
Okay.
It looks amazing.
So in training, we have to do dance. So that when you're acting, you're not stiff. You're very mobile. You're very adaptable. If they say look over there, you don't have to turn all your body. You can turn your neck because your neck is supple. Okay. So modern dance, ballet, and movement. And I used to think, to teach, well, I like to think I think. I used to teach aerobics and yoga. All of this combination of this will help you through old age because you're breathing properly. You're carrying yourself well. And if you carry yourself well, I dare say you think straight, more positively.
Absolutely.
If you look at us, if you see somebody come in now and they go like this, you immediately know that person is in trouble, right? If that person just sort of lifts the shoulders back,
you kind of want to hear what the person has to say.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what are the lifestyle tips, would you say?
Diet's important.
Diet.
You've got to take a lot of calcium. And it's important for older people to take supplements. Calcium, I mean, heavy dose. But it's good if you've built all this up over the years. But nothing's lost.
Even if you start in old age.
As we say here, nothing's spoiled.
Nothing's spoiled.
You have to carry on supplementing all the time. And eating leafy vegetables, drinking milk, and having all that. And take care of your diet.
These are all great sources of calcium.
But naturally, as we all know, we lose some kind of bone mass
as you get older.
As we get older.
And that's why what you said is very important, that you build it up from when you're younger. Because if you built up a good stock, even by the time that's bone, the destruction of bone is more than the, building it up, then you already have a good stock. Auntie Taiwo, thank you so much. I've learned so much from you. But before we go, I know you're still working on quite a number of projects. What's the last thing that you just worked on? Anything exciting?
Very exciting. Just got back from Oloibiri.
Where's that?
It's in Bayelsa State.
Okay, what's happening there?
We were making a film about the discovery of oil. The first place oil was discovered.
Yeah, that's Oloibiri, right?
Oloibiri.
Okay, I think that's what I know the name for.
Exactly.
Auntie Taiwo, it's always awesome having a chat with you. Thank you so much.
As I said, the pleasure is entirely mine. Fantastic. Thank you very much for having me on this.
Thank you.
This is an incredible program,
a
wonderful program, the sort of program that we did. It's adult, it's intelligent,
thank you.
It's enlightening.
Thank you.
Thank you for illuminating our lives.
Oh, thank you so much, Auntie
You're
Taiwo.
welcome.
And so you've heard it all. It's exercise, it's the food you eat, it's keeping your body nice and supple. These are some of the tips that we've shared from you. And honestly, if you can do them and be as beautiful as Auntie Taiwo is at the age of 73, I think you've learned enough from this show. So we'll be leaving you now. And before we go, we'd like to remind you to join us and follow us on our social media pages, on Twitter, on Facebook, and also on our blog. We'd also like to say a big thank you to all our sponsors and partners. Procter & Gamble, makers of Safeguard Soap and Oral-B. We'd also like to say thank you to Far East Mercantile, the group that has very nicely sponsored all the souvenirs and gift items that we have for our special guest. We'd also like to say thank you to Mile Kitchen, and we'd also like to say thank you to Cafe Vanessa. Until I see you again next time, remember to stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's great seeing you here. I'd like to do a show that is an afternoon out with Auntie Taiwo. So you can just share. Chris, I want an afternoon out with Auntie Taiwo.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to say a big thank you for being on the Dr. Ketch Show. We've enjoyed having you here.
Dr. Bish, it was a pleasure.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
On behalf of Far East Mercantile, we have a small souvenir for you before you go. Thank you.
This is most generous. Thank you very much. Thank you.